Hi guys, okay, I just wanted to talk to you about how horses learn, and it's not just horses, it's any animal or being. So operant conditioning, it's when we've got some sort of voluntary behaviour or an action that's linked with a consequence. So we link the consequence. And with that, we use what I've started saying, positive reinforcement, and then we have a negative reinforcement, and then we have the punishment, which is a positive punishment and a negative punishment. Don't think the word punishment means anything harsh or horrible. It is just an unpleasant stimulus. It could be as minimal as anything. It doesn't necessarily need to associate with fear or pain. It can be something mild. Your positive reinforcements again can vary from one extreme to the other, but you can have your primary reinforcement and your secondary one. Your primary one is going to be something that they're going to know straight away that it's a reward, something instinctive like food, a stroke, freedom, pressure off. All them are primary. Straight away they know that that's pleasant. Your secondary one, or conditioned reinforcement, is something they've learnt. So it might be the sound of good boy, good girl. In clicker training, you've got the click and things like that. Okay, yeah, so you've got your positive and negative reinforcements. Well, with horses, we don't, because they're quite a fearful animal, it's good to use a lot of positive reinforcement to give something. However, when we're using food, we've got to think about the other unwanted behaviours that can come with that. That's a big debate. Should we use food and treats in training? And punishment, we don't want it to a scale that it ends up making them fearful. It's going to put their adrenaline up or anything, because when your adrenaline's up, your learning's down. Having a minimal punishment of a tiny bit of pressure, if you want to call it punishment, of even leading on a head collar or anything, when you're putting a tiny bit of pressure on, it's a slightly unpleasant feeling. So therefore, when you take the pressure off, pressure and reward, pressure and release even, that's the reward. It is that freedom. It's not a whack, a shout, a hit, pain, fear. Their learning's just not going to be there with that. And also what we've got to consider with operant conditioning and positive and negative reinforcements and punishments is how their brain works. It doesn't work the same. They're not going to think exactly the same. So you've got to be quite quick at giving what you're doing your reward. So then they can associate it with that behaviour and then link it on to do that. If you're giving it the time too far away, they're not going to link it on with it. So it's a longer process. They're never going to think. You can't just think, oh, well, I'm going to give them a punishment. I'm not going to feed them dinner tonight because they bucked in the arena. Well, they're not going to associate that at all, and it's not going to link on. They're never going to learn like that. So instant reward is really good. But yeah, these are your four things of your operant conditioning. Positive reinforcement is a really good one for horses.